Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, and we are on the test server. I am finally getting around to being able to play with some of these champions. As you can see, my champion pool is full of Sacred Order folks still. We still have a competition going on for the faction games. I still need to build my Hydra people, but I wanted to take a pause to do my own comparison of Trunda and Hephraak. So I've heard a lot of love for this fella here, but I'm curious. My +2 Trunda versus my Hephraak. Now, I might have a little bit of trouble getting the stats for him as I have for Trunda because she's +2'd, but we'll see. There is also something to consider when you're comparing people like this. So Hephraak actually has this lovely skill here. It places an increased attack buff and an increased crit rate buff on the champion for 3 turns. That grants an extra turn. So you really can build Hephraak with less crit rate because of this skill, as long as you make sure that you are leading off with this skill. This also is really nice because he self-buffs with the increased attack. So depending on like your arena team or whatever you're working on, you don't need someone to go in like Arbiter and place that increased attack on your Trunda first. This guy can do it himself, so that is huge. He's super cool, really interesting skill here, but this is a really fun part of his kit that I think makes him unique. Whenever an ally is killed, instantly activates Hephraak's Scorn skill, which will not put that skill on cooldown. So he's just gonna go in and smack possibly twice, which is insane anytime someone dies. So I feel like for arena, this has got to be nuts. Like, there's a little bit to be said about this skill in general, and debatable whether or not it's going to be solid for arena, because let's be honest, with the meta nowadays in arena, it's tanky, high resist, stone skin, all sorts of mechanics in the game that make it so you can't just go in, instantly one shot, boom, walk away. Now, of course you can if you pick and choose your battles wisely on arena offense, so that's something to consider. A character like Hephraak is going to be annoying, but they might be better for offense than defense, because if you're on defense and people are going to know who's coming against you, they're going to bring in a lovely stone skin champion or a Necrit or someone else to protect, and this is not going to one shot, or first hit is probably not going to take targets down to less than 50% to allow for that second hit. So it's probably going to be something that gets wasted. Although I guess that when it comes down to it, the same can be said about Trunda, right? If you have Trunda in your defense and you have her A2 set, or sorry, her A3 set, people are probably going to go in and waste her skill too based on your AI settings on your defense. So when it comes down to it, neither one of these champions are necessarily the best for defense. Because they are attack-based, they can be a bit squishy, and there's so many ways to counter just a basic nuker these days. So you need to bring something a little more interesting to the table. Now, I do think that Hephraak, with this ability here of when other people die, he can smash. This is going to come in handy if you can keep him alive, but when it comes to arena defense, it's probably not going to be the case. It's more going to be situational arena offense stuff or other fun PvE. He just seems like a fun champion, so I wanted to take the time to just compare damage. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with my Trunda. So I think I changed her gear a little bit. I am on the test server. I used some of that gear on like my Phoenix earlier, but we just did, it's kind of simple, nothing insanely overpowered. 6.5k attack, 100% crit rate, 254% crit damage in a Savage set. So simple enough. I mean, yeah, that's still good. She's solid, let's be honest. But we're going to go through and we're going to test her in a couple different areas just to see how those hits are, right? So let's actually go to Nightmare Campaign. Let's go to Nightmare Campaign and see how we do. All right, so we are 1x speed so we could see these hits. Let's go Trunda A3. 80, 80, 60s. Actually, not another area. Let's do the proper comparison. We need to have an increased attack buff up on our Trunda, right? And we are talking no decreased defense and weaken, guys. We're just looking at pure, simple damage, right? Simple. So let's take a look. All right. Don't mind my Stone Skin Arbiter. All right, so increase attack buff up on Trunda now, and boom, boom. There we go. Okay, that was too fast. I had that on 2 times speed. Let's do this again. 1 and 108s, 107s. All right, let's look again. Do this a couple of times for sake of that Helm Smasher, right? All right, so we have 90s to like 115s, right? And this is with an increased attack buff, but not decreased defense or weaken. So let's go do the same test with Hephraak. Alrighty, and now we have a fully skilled up Hephraak as well, just like my Trunda. I also did put the same masteries on both of them just for sake of argument. And I wanted to take a look here. Let's see. So we have pretty much the same stats, 6,500 attack, 100% crit rate, 254% crit damage in a Savage set. So same exact gear, I just put it from Trunda to him and made sure to get the attack as close as I could. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what Hephraak can do. So now this is the good part. We don't need Arbiter in here. He can do it himself, right? So let's have a look here. Hopefully my speeds are okay. All right, so he is going to self-buff. And this actually puts him over on crit rate. So the good thing with him was we could have put more crit damage with the same things, all things considered, because now he's at 30% crit rate, more than he really needs, but that's okay. Ooh. Wow, okay. Well, that was a smash, was it not? All right, let's let this quickly finish. He smacks, guys. The smacks are harder than Trunda's, aren't they? Am I wrong? Wow. Oops, sorry, I went out of it completely. Yeah, that was harder than Trunda, for sure. I'm actually surprised. I wasn't expecting that. We had some from Trunda hitting at only like 90, right? Boom, boom. Okay, those had some hitting only 90. Haha. Oh, so look at the AI's dumb on him, guys. He leads with the A. Okay, so this is a good test, actually. The AI is dumb. It leads with this before doing it. Why would you? It leads with the A2 instead of the A3. Oh my god, bad AI. Bad AI. This is why we do these videos. This is why we test, right, guys? We take a look. All right, let's go slow. So let's do smart AI, aka my hand. Boom, boom. Oof. That hits hard. Hell yeah. Now, again, the reality is, are we going to get that second hit in all things considered in Arena necessarily? Maybe not. But I still think he's a valid option. He is a beast. Boom, boom. Look at those numbers, guys. Let's just try this again. Boom, boom. See, look at that dumb AI. I love the AI. It's so bad. Can't do this on full auto, guys. Note to self, right? Note to self. Holy moly. All right, let's try that again. We're just going to have some fun and test this a couple more times so you guys can see the numbers. Take this off auto. He needs to, but you definitely need to set this. Set the A3 priority first. Boom. Increase crit rate buff. And then you can actually boost his crit damage because you know he's always going to have 30% crit rate. Prioritize his A3. Boom, boom. Solid. Those are better than what I was pulling with my Trunda, guys. Those are better. Okay, he's fun. It's just going to be... Getting him involved in Arena is going to be a little bit more complicated. So let's see, he should just do the, I mean, maybe the reality is because he knows he can one-shot these, the AI is telling him just use the A2, but still. But yeah, I guess the reality when it comes to Arena is, can we really use that double hitter? That second hit is massive if you can, that's for sure. And he comes back to his skills really quickly. That's really nice. The cooldowns are good. 3-turn cooldown. So we did get an 85. Okay. All right. We did get an 85, which makes me feel better. But of course, affinity-wise, it makes sense. But with Trunda, I had a little bit lower, right? But the good part with him is, besides just the fact of that second hit, he also ignores 15% of defense additionally on that second hit. Or both hits. Both hits ignore extra defense. Oh, so this makes sense. Like, he might have like the same multipliers as Trunda, but because he's ignoring extra defense on top of already using a Savage set and a Cruel set, that does make him naturally have a little bit better chance of a higher ceiling for his damage than Trunda, right? That just makes sense. All right. I think I'm good playing around with him. I think he's fun. Again, I don't know if I would, I'm trying to think if I would necessarily use him in the same place in Arena than Trunda. Probably not, because there are certain areas Trunda just shines when it comes to Arena, especially when you're dealing with high-end Arena. When you're dealing with Necrits or Sugas or high HP champions, you're going to want to be using Trunda's A2 more often on manual. So something like that, it's just, you're not going to one-shot everyone or 50% shot everyone with Hephraak when they had those big ol' strength and buffs and ally protects and passives that help protect an ally. So I think he's going to be fun. It's just really hard to see how much better or not he can do in Arena than Trunda. But hope you guys had fun enjoying my little comparison here and taking a look at their skills. Simple enough. I just wanted to see, how hard does he hit? Does he really hit as hard as people say, with my own direct comparison? Now, when I want to do comparisons, guys, I want things to be as exact as possible. I saw some others do comparisons where they're like, okay, well, here's my Trunda, or here's my whatever. Here's this character, how I have them built. All right, now here's Hephraak. But they don't use the exact same gear always, and I feel like you need to get your stats as close as possible in order to properly see the damage comparisons. And well, he can certainly hold his own. He is going to be fun for people to play with. I hope you guys are enjoying getting your Hephraaks after the 10 times event. I do not actually have one on my main account. Again, this is the test server, so sadly, I will have to see him go in a couple days when we no longer have test server access. So that's a bit sad, but it is what it is. But all right, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of Hephraak? Is there certain teams in Arena, especially pushing Plat and stuff, that you find a different use for him instead of Trunda? I'd love to hear some thoughts and some advice in the comments below for those of you that are having fun with your new Hephraaks or that want some advice from others that actually have him too. So let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.